y'all, and welcome to today's video. We are going to be doing the unpopular makeup opinions tag while I get ready. I need to get ready for my day, so I thought, why not answer some really fun tag questions? This tag is really old. I think it's like 3 or 4 years old. I'm not sure who originally created this tag, but I saw Patty Alonso do this a few weeks ago, so I thought it would be fun to answer these questions. We're gonna get ready together, and it's gonna be a good time. Now, if you're new here, hey, my name is Heather, and makeup makes me happy. Here at my channel, we don't try to be perfect. We just want to have a good time with our makeup, whatever that means. I do upload lots of new videos every single week, so I hope that you will subscribe before you leave today. But I am ready to put some makeup on this face, so let's jump into it. Okay, this tag has 8 questions to it, and I'm going to be getting ready while we answer these questions. I'm not going to be talking so much about the makeup, but if you are curious about any of the products I'm using, anything like that, definitely check the description box. I will try to say what I'm using as we go along, but just in case I forget, don't worry, it will be in the description box. I'm going to pull my hair back a bit. I know y'all hate when I have hair in my face, so I'm going to pull my hair back, and we need to put on primer. I am going to be wearing this makeup all day long, so I'm going to use my Milk HydroGrip. All right, I've got my Milk primer on. I'm going to put on a little bit of lip oil because I want my lips to be hydrating while we're getting ready. This is the Lunar Beauty Lip Oil in Tease Me. My favorite lip oils. Okay, I'm going to be using my Too Faced Born This Way Multi-Use Sculpting Concealer as foundation today. And you can see, like, I exfoliate my face, and I actually did a treatment last night. So my face is a bit lighter than my body, which is fine. I'm just going to use this Too Faced concealer as foundation today, and then we'll kind of like brighten up the under eyes with my ABH concealer. But the first question is, what is a popular makeup product that you don't like? And I will put these questions in the description box because I would love if y'all would answer these questions too. Like, please leave me comments and answer these. I'm so curious of what y'all have to say. But okay, yeah, that shade is matching my body a lot better, So my answer for this one definitely has to be the new Be Perfect foundation that they launched earlier this year. Listen, I try a lot of new makeup, so I'm used to, you know, trying things, maybe not loving them, but wearing them, you know, giving them the benefit of the doubt, trying them different ways. And I really, really like Be Perfect as a brand. They make some great eyeshadow palettes. I have some of their blushes, some of their highlighters, some lip products. Like, I have a good bit of things from the brand, and I've really enjoyed their products. So listen, since I already put concealer on, like, that's my foundation, I don't need a lot more since I did bring that up under the eyes, but I do want to give myself some brightness, so that's why I'm just going to put on a little bit more of this lighter concealer. This is just the ABH Magic Touch concealer. But listen, that Be Perfect foundation, I was so hyped for it. I'm like, okay, it looks like they have a good shade range. The packaging looks cool. So I ordered the foundation and the concealer. It came in, and it was like paint on my face. Now listen, I knew it was full coverage. I don't like test light coverage products and say, oh, I wish they have more coverage. I don't test full coverage products and think, oh, I don't like full coverage. You know, like, I take it for what it is, right? But that was like paint on my skin. It just sat on top of the skin. And a lot of times makeup has come such a long way. I don't necessarily struggle with feeling like my makeup looks cakey, you know, like it used to back, you know, even 20 years ago, 15 years ago, when there were just like lots of terrible products out there. But I tried it and I hated it. But on TikTok, on Instagram, I was seeing so many videos of people loving the foundation. And here's the thing to remember. Two things can both be true, right? I can hate the foundation. Somebody else can say they love it. It doesn't mean that one of us is lying. It just means that it didn't work for me and it worked for them. So I am just like, everybody loves this except for me. Why do I not love it? So I tried it with different powders on top. I tried it with different primers. I tried it different ways. And y'all, I hate that foundation. And it just goes to show everything isn't going to work for everybody. But I definitely felt like I had an unpopular opinion on that one because, you know, I'm always hesitant to say, oh, something's going viral because people just say that for no reason now. But I felt like everywhere I looked on TikTok and on Instagram, people were like trying this Be Perfect foundation and they were just loving it. And I'm over here like, I can't. Like, it was hard for me to even wear that foundation throughout the day because it felt so heavy on my skin. So there's my unpopular opinion on that. Okay, I'm gonna set my face with my Huda Beauty Easy Bake powder and then my Dior powder, no powder, to kind of like buff and finish things. The second question is a popular makeup product or brand that everyone else seems to hate but you love. And I have to say the NARS Soft Matte Complete Foundation, so many people hate it, but my oily skin loves it. I have oily skin. I'm 35. I'm living in a humid climate. And that foundation, listen, I can put it on and it is going to stay on. You need your makeup to last 24 hours. It's got you. It has got you. And I always get comments from people like, who wears their makeup more than 8 to 10 hours? People that work at the hospital that work 12-hour shifts. By the time you get ready, you go to work, something crazy happens at the end of your shift, and you are there for 13 to 14 hours instead of the 12 hours, and then you get off and it's 8 to 9 in the morning and you're starving and you go get breakfast and you have other things to do and then you come home and you finally get ready for bed. Yeah, it's easily been 16 hours of wear for makeup. That NARS Soft Matte, it's not leaving. Now listen, I don't work 12-hour shifts anymore. So I'm not putting my foundations to the test in that way, but that NARS Soft Matte for oily skin, amazing. I can't tell you how many bottles I have used. That is one of those foundations that I have a summer shade in and I have a winter shade in. I'm ready to mix at all times. I love that foundation. It is a medium to full coverage foundation and it is like a skin-like matte. It's not matte like we used to think of, you know, years ago. It is a skin-like matte. It's not a flat matte. If you have oily skin, try the NARS Soft Matte. Don't let the reviews scare you. Now again, if other people hate it, that's completely fine. Me, I love it, but I do have oily skin and I do need my makeup to last a long time. If you have normal to dry skin, I would say even maybe just normal skin and you don't like matte, you don't like medium to full coverage, of course not. Don't even look at it. It's not for you. But if you're like me and you're like, listen, I'm oily, makeup tends to wear away on me and I need something that's going to last all day, all night. I love that NARS Soft Matte. It's so freaking good in the shade range. Like, I love NARS complexion products. Okay, number 3, makeup collab you didn't like or were not interested in. So many things. Like, there are so many things. I mean, I have a series on my channel. Every single Sunday, we sit down together and we talk about all the new makeup releases we judge. It's judging new makeup where we judge. And I mean, every single week there are collabs happening. But I have to say, the most horrendous, the most hideous, the atrocious MAC Cruella collab, I still don't know. Like, I still don't know what happened with that. And listen, I get that Cruella, you know, like her story, the newer Cruella movie was about kind of like her descending into madness, right? It's like her story and her, I get it. But the collab still could have been better. Like, y'all, I popped up a photo for y'all. Let me pop up the photo so you can see. Like, it gives me a headache. I'm like, is this supposed to make me want to vomit? Like, what is this chaos? Why? Why is this like that? Who did this? They're sabotaging you. Have you ever seen like the mole? MAC, you have a mole and they're in there to sabotage your brand, whoever created that collab, because it could have been cool. It could have been cool because Cruella, you know, she was all like this fashion designer in the movie. So they really could have taken it to this cool, creative designer type of look with the collection. But instead, it was like they went to a preschool and they like had these preschoolers working on shapes or something. I don't know. I hate it. Let me fill in my brows. Let me do that. And then we're going to do eyes and we'll keep talking. I have been wanting to mix my collab palette with a depth that launched earlier this year. My palette, my favorite palette in the whole wide world. I really want to mix it with Adept's newest palette, which is the Minka palette. So this launched a couple of months ago, I think November, October. Yeah, it launched in October. Okay, I want to mix these two though. So we're going to do that. But first I'm going to fill in my brows. I'm going to put some eye primer on and then we'll talk some more. Okay, brows are looking better than they were. I used my Urban Decay brow blade. I have the shade Blackout and my pink honey, what is it called? Honey glue. Okay. I am going to be using the Kaleidos Tone Activator Primer. I've been wanting to use this more because I haven't gotten my full thoughts on it yet. And I wanted to use it with not new palettes. Like, I know how my palette performs, so I'm like, okay, I want to use it with this primer to see, you know, how the primer does, because if I don't like the way my look wears, I know it's not my shadow because I've been wearing this for a long time now. So let me tell you what I'm gonna do though, so you kind of know. I'm just gonna start off with the mattes Atlas and Magnolia to start with, and then I want to use some of these Minka shimmers. But let's look. What question are we on? 4. Popular makeup step that you never do. So this one I had to really think about because I'm like, I mean, listen, I go all out with my makeup. You know, like there aren't a lot of things I don't do. So I'm like, what's a popular step? So I actually thought of a couple, like my brow bone. I never do like a brow bone highlight, but I do take my eye primer up to my brow bone, and my eye primer is usually like pretty opaque and it's usually lighter than my skin tone. So I'm like, well, maybe I do highlight the brow bone just with my eye primer, you know, but I don't ever like go in with the shadow specifically to highlight my brow bone. And then the other step that I kind of thought about was like contouring. I love to bronze, and bronzing is like adding warmth to the face, right? Whereas contour is like sculpting and adding shadow. Now, I definitely feel like when I put on my bronzer and my highlighter and stuff, it definitely does give shape to the face. So I guess you could say like that's contouring, but I don't use like cool tone contour because look at my cheeks. Like, these are my cheeks. Like, I have chipmunk cheeks. I remember in middle school, some guy said that I looked like a bullfrog. And it is what it is. Like, I have big cheeks. There's not much to contour. So I don't really do that. I never contour my nose. Because like, I don't like know why I would. I love my nose. I have my dad's nose. And like, I know I do get comments sometimes, people like don't like my nose. I don't know what to tell you. Like, it's my face. I don't know what to tell you if you don't like it. But yeah, so maybe like when I think about popular makeup step, you don't do, I guess, traditional contour and like adding gray shadow and then highlighting the brow bone. I don't know. Okay, this next question says, this is hot shady tea. Number 5, popular beauty influencer you don't subscribe to or watch. I mean, probably a ton I don't even know, right? Like, there are so many people in the beauty space, like across TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, probably some things I don't even know about. Those are just the main ones that I can think of. And one, we just don't have time to watch everybody, right? Like, that's not necessarily like being rude, like, oh, I don't watch this person. Well, first of all, we just don't have time. Like, we can't watch everybody. And I would have to say, like, there are some people that are popular that sometimes I hear creators refer to like, oh, they've been in drama. First of all, crimes are not drama. Like, let's call crime crime. And if you are behaving inappropriately with minors, that's a crime. That's not drama. And I'm definitely not trying to support someone like that. Otherwise, I would say I really try to keep my subscription feed pretty positive, and I try to keep it full of people that I actually want to watch. That doesn't mean I watch every single upload from everybody I'm subscribed to, but in general, like, when they upload, am I wanting to watch, you know, the majority of their videos? Then I say stay subscribed to those people. And when I say, like, I try to keep my subscription feed positive, that doesn't mean that, you know, I'm not watching people give honest reviews, because giving your honest thoughts on a product and saying, like, I hate this product, it doesn't work for me, and here's why I hate it, that's not negative. What I mean by I keep it positive is, like, people who are giving honest reviews on products, people who seem to enjoy makeup. I don't really like to watch people who talk about how they've lost interest in makeup, and it doesn't have to be new makeup, but just do you still enjoy makeup? Do you enjoy creating content? I want to watch people that I can see they enjoy what they're doing. They enjoy creating content, they enjoy playing with makeup, and people that enjoy other creators too. I don't want to watch, I don't know, it would just put me in a negative headspace to see negativity all the time. I mean, I do like anti-hauls, things like that still, things that are, you know, maybe you would say lean negative, but I like to hear people talk themselves out of new makeup, things like that. I mean some more negative, and like, is every video they make, they never have anything good to say. They're always kind of bringing other people down. I don't really like to watch that type of content. I would also say there are a lot of beauty channels that have kind of transitioned to more lifestyle content, and a lot of beauty channels that I used to watch that have transitioned more to like motherhood and lifestyle content, and that is completely fine. As a creator, I don't want anybody to tell me what I can and cannot do on my channel. I want to make the type of content that I want to make. So this is not me saying like, oh, beauty people, then they have kids and they just transition to only mommy content. that's good. They should do that. That's what they want to make, as long as they're not exploiting their kids, of course. But if they want to make content surrounding that, that is 100% fine. But I also know myself that I don't enjoy watching videos like that. You know, I don't want to see like baby clothing hauls. I don't want to see like must-haves for the delivery room. Like, that's not the phase of life I'm in, and I don't enjoy seeing that on my subscription feed. So I definitely have unsubscribed from people for things like that. But again, that has literally nothing to do with them and everything to do with me. So yeah, I don't think that's hot, shady tea. But yeah, just things like that. I will say, I really enjoy Samantha Ravindale. You know, if we're thinking about people who have, you know, had some life changes and things, I feel like I stay subscribed to her because she does her like motherhood type content. She lets you know right up front before you click on the video, this is going to be a video where I'm talking about like things that I'm going through. And I'm like, okay, I don't have to click on that video. But she still brings other types of content that I do enjoy watching, you know? So it just depends. It really just depends on the type of content, the type of person. But I will say, like, even for me, if you ever are watching my content and you just don't enjoy it anymore, you don't want to watch, maybe you're just not feeling what I'm posting, like, you definitely don't owe me anything. You don't have to stay subscribed. Of course, I love you being here, but I would never want anybody to watch my videos and leave my videos feeling like any type of negative emotion. So, like, I understand. I don't take it personally, and I don't, when I unsubscribe from people, it's usually not like, oh my gosh, I hate them. It's just like, okay, like, we're kind of, they're making content that I'm not necessarily interested in, so it's time for me to head on out. Okay, so we're going to jump over to the Minka palette, and I really want to use this shade Ava, and then I want to use this shade Maya. So I want to use those two colors on the lid. I am going to use the Karla Fix Potion. Don't feel like you have to. I just want to make my shimmers intensely pop. Again, you don't have to. I just want to do this. So as we're doing this, we will see, okay, number 6, popular makeup product or brand that you don't use or support anymore. Okay, I will say I don't, that one's a little hard because I'm like, I do feel like it's human nature to mess up, right? But it's what we do from those mess ups and mistakes, how we change, how we learn, how we grow. There are definitely brands that I put in time out. I'm taking the shade Ava. There are definitely brands that I put in time out that I'm like, okay, I'm not buying from you. Like Shein. I'm not supporting that brand right now. I don't really want to talk about why. You can definitely Google if you want to do your own research. So Shein owns She Glam. That's their makeup brand. And I just, like, I don't see a need to buy from that brand. It's not something I need to support. If you want to Google what's going on, just be warned. I don't want to talk about it here on my channel because I don't want it to be triggering for anybody. I don't even know if, like, that's the right way to phrase it, but they've just done some things that I'm like, yeah, you know, this isn't a brand that I really want to give my money to right now. Maybe things could change in the future. Never say never, but as of right now, I'm just not interested in it. We don't ever talk about She Glam on my channel. I'm taking the shade Maya now, and I'm just putting that right on this inner part of my lid. But yeah, for me too, usually if I am not supporting a brand, like, I don't even talk about the new releases in my judging new makeup. I just feel like silence sometimes speaks louder, in my opinion. You know, other people, you know, may feel differently, but I feel like I just would rather not talk about the brand, their releases, anything like that at all. But I did think, I was like, okay, something that I used to support but will not support no matter what is multi-level marketing companies. Now, when you know better, you do better, right? So years ago, I didn't really know much. I was just like, oh yeah, if my friend's selling a product, I'm gonna buy the product because I want to support my friend, right? Well, no. No more. No more. I do not support companies that, they call themselves a ton of things. Multi-level marketing, direct sales, they call it like affiliate marketing, all kinds of things. That's a no from me. I'm not here to tell you what to do, but I have educated myself and I know better, so I do better now. And I see the comparison a lot, like, well, aren't content creators, influencers, they're doing the same thing? Absolutely not. I will never come on here and say, make YouTube videos. There's so much money in YouTube videos. Oh my gosh, do you see all this that I pay for YouTube videos? Join me, make YouTube videos. I'll get a cut. You'll just make them. It's going to be amazing. Never. You'll never see me try to recruit you to YouTube. I am not trying to sell you a product. Listen, I have my own palette with Adept. I have never asked a single person to buy my palette. Not a single person, not online, not people I know face to face. Never. I have never asked somebody to buy my palette. I have never sent someone a text, a direct message saying, will you watch my YouTube video? Hey, did you watch my YouTube video? Hey, here's a link to my YouTube video. If you're looking for videos, please go watch my videos. I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that at all. You want to watch my content? Watch it. You want to follow me? I'll tell you when I have new content. I'll tell you when there's sales. But I am never, ever, ever asking you to watch. Like, I'm never direct messaging you saying, you should make content. You can be on my team. Or saying, did you buy my palette? Buy my palette. Buy my palette. Did you buy my palette? So it's definitely not the same. And yeah, I'm not supporting those companies. And like I said, I used to be like, yeah, if my friend's selling something, I'll buy it because I want to support them. But I've since learned, like, that's not really supporting them. That's just keeping them in what I consider, in my opinion, to be a illegal pyramid scheme, because most of these companies support corrupt politicians. Again, in my opinion. But, you know, if you want to educate yourself, you can just go to the FTC's website, look and see what they have to say about it all. I'm just deepening up kind of out here, going back and forth with my mattes. But I really like the way my palette, the mattes, are pairing with these mica shimmers. I kind of want this look to be like blown out, messy, grungy, so that's why you kind of see me like blending all over the place. I'm gonna take that shade Magnolia, my matte shade, and I'm going to deepen up the lower lash line. But first I want to highlight the inner corner, and I want to use this shade right here, Mica. I'm gonna use that shade to highlight the inner corner, and then I'm going to do liner and lashes, and I'll come back because we have 2 more questions to answer. I can't wait to read y'all's answers on this. I hope I'm not like in trouble with any of y'all for any of my unpopular opinions. Okay, before we go on to the next questions, let me tell you what we're going to be using so I don't have to like talk, you know, I don't want to forget. I'm using the Makeup by Mario Soft Sculpt Bronzer. You can tell I love this one. And I'm going to use my Pat McGrath Cheek Palette, Divine Blush and Glow, and Divine Rose. That didn't work out so hot for me. Okay, I'm going to use this for blush and highlight. Okay, I'm going to use my Rephr 37 brush, my BK Beauty 112 brush, and my Sigma E61 is what I'm going to be using. Number 7, a makeup trend that you have no interest in trying. Okay, I have to say the mixing all my X, Y, and Z trend. It was here on YouTube years ago, and we're seeing it on TikTok a lot, which is fine. I know a lot of people, especially like people in my age group. I'm 35. I feel like people my age and older get really frustrated with TikTok. Like, oh my gosh, we already have been there. We've already done that. And while I get that, I would say most of the people I see trying these new things on TikTok are like 20, you know? So I get it. They weren't around. They weren't around in the beauty space when those trends first came, but I've been seeing so much on TikTok mixing all my foundation, mixing all my primer, and I'm like, I just don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. It's fun. If you do that, like if you're making videos where you're mixing things or you're enjoying that content, that's great. I'm not saying you shouldn't enjoy it. I'm not saying that it's stupid, nothing like that. I'm just saying I don't want to do that because, like, when would I ever need to mix all of my foundations together? And it doesn't sound like fun to me. You do you. Like, if you want to do that, that's fun. And I see the fun in it. The like, let's mix it all together. Let's see what happens. I see the fun in it, but that's just not something that I'm like, I just don't want to do that, you know? And I think sometimes, like, we see that as such a negative thing. Like, oh, so-and-so doesn't want to try this trend or that trend. Like, who cares? It's literally their face. Who cares if they want to try this trend, doesn't want to try this trend? But remember, you don't have to jump on every trend you see either. Like, if you see somebody doing triple cut creases, but you don't want to try it, that's fine. You don't have to try it. I don't have to try it. But I can still say, you know what, they're having fun. That's great. I don't have to go in the comments and say, I don't want to do this trend. Like, we'll let people enjoy things. We'll let people enjoy things. Number 8, a makeup product that was better in theory than when you used it. Either it swatched better or worked better on others than on you. That one, you know, lots of things, right? Like, so many people, let me think how I want to word this. First of all, let me just go ahead and answer with the specific product. The Maybelline Age Rewind Concealer used to be the concealer. Drugstore, high-end, it didn't matter. Everybody was using that Age Rewind Concealer, and I'm like, I must have it. So I bought it, and I'm like, this isn't working for me. Like, it just didn't work. My oils ate it away. I'm like, I don't know that I got the right shade, but I'm like, everybody loves this except for me. So let me buy another one. Let me try another shade. Let me try different techniques. And I never liked it, and that's okay. But I'm like, that is a product, like, I saw people love it. And I don't think any of them were lying. I could literally see them put it on in videos. I could see them blend it in. I could see how beautiful it looked on them. It truly, truly did. And it was at such a great price point, and I wanted to love it so much. But yeah, for me, like, it worked better in theory, but it didn't work on me. And I have to say, I really love all the options we have in makeup today. I know that is probably an unpopular opinion, so I figured I would kind of end this video with giving you just a random unpopular opinion. I know that sometimes all the new releases can be very overwhelming. They definitely can. And listen, as somebody who is constantly, every day, checking the new releases, checking to see, like, what's new, what's going on, it's a lot. But I also have to say, I really enjoy it because I remember, you know, when I was young, we didn't have all these reviews, and we certainly didn't have all these releases. Like, there was Sephora and what was in Sephora. There was no Instagram. There was no, like, there was none of that for me to see reviews. And a lot of what I would find at the drugstore, like, they were truly hidden gems. Like, if I found something good at the drugstore, I was like, yes, this is amazing. Because so much of what I would try and what I would buy was not good. And then, you know, you go to Sephora or MAC or whatever, and like, there were makeup artists there to help, which I was so thankful for, but there weren't a lot of options. I could go to Sephora, I could go to the drugstore, I could go to like a Dillard's, a Macy's, a makeup counter, but now there are options for everyone, every style, every preference. There are lots of luxury beauty brands. There are lots of indie brands that are doing cool stuff. I mean, hello, like Adept. I could never walk into Sephora or Dillard's and find these. And I've found a brand that's like so like cool and different. You know, I think of Unearthly, and they're so like artistic with their packaging. I think of Glamlight and how they're like just really having fun with makeup. And then when we see brands like ColourPop, BH Cosmetics, like that, brands that are making great products at a great price point. And so even though sometimes I think the new makeup releases, yes, they can be overwhelming, 100%. Sometimes it is like, okay, too much. But I remember when there weren't many options. And I remember, you know, like, okay, like I found one eyeshadow palette that I like the quality of. And now it's like there's so many different things. There's so many different price points, and there's something for everybody, you know, because if you want color, there's lots of palettes that are $20 and under that are full of color. If you want neutrals, there's lots of palettes in that price point. You don't like this brand, there's another brand. So I don't think options are ever a bad thing, especially when you're talking about preferences and different skin tones and different budgets and everything. Like, that's kind of my unpopular opinion, is I kind of like the options. But I'm also not somebody who feels like I have to buy everything. So maybe if I really struggled with, I have to buy everything, then maybe I would feel a little more overwhelmed when I look at new releases. But I definitely think we should have the ability to say, you know what? Normally I love this brand, but they just released something that I'm not interested in. But other people might be interested in it, and that's cool, you know? So, I don't know. Maybe that's my unpopular opinion. Okay, I've answered all the questions. I'm going to finish up my lip, and then we'll have a final chat. I'm just using ABH Raisin, and I'm going to use Glamlight Jeepers. All right, y'all. I just want to say these, of course, are all my opinions. If you have a different opinion from me, that is totally cool, no big deal. I will leave the questions in the description box. I would love to hear your answers to these questions. I think this was a really fun tag. Let me know, do you like these get ready with me style videos where we're doing our makeup together, but we're talking, answering questions, kind of chill, kind of relaxed style video? Definitely let me know. I always love hearing from y'all. I would love to hear your unpopular opinions down below, as long as they are not geared at one specific person. Listen, if you want to leave your unpopular opinion, that's wonderful. But if you want to like name a specific creator or something like that, if you have something positive to say about them, wonderful. If you have something negative, I will not keep those comments here on my channel. So we can have unpopular opinions, but we can also always be kind to one another. I know y'all won't have a problem with that. I just like to throw it out there, you know? But I hope you're having a super awesome, fun day. I really enjoyed chilling with y'all. I really like my makeup. I'm actually about to head out. I have lunch plans today, so I'm glad I'm ready. I just need to put on some outside of the house pants because I'm wearing pajama pants. So I'm gonna go put on some real pants that I can wear out in public. And I want y'all to subscribe if you liked this video. Give it a thumbs up. I do have lots of videos coming. I've been uploading 7 videos a week for the past couple of weeks. I don't see that slowing down anytime soon, so definitely make sure you subscribe. But thank you so much for being here. I hope you're having an awesome day. Bye.